This is just a disclaimer that I am going to be talking very fast during this video, and I will leave the script down below so that you can follow along if you have trouble understanding what I'm saying, because the video already became very long, much longer than I was intending it to be, because I was intending maybe like a 3-page thing on Google Docs, but then it turned into 12 pages, which was much longer than what I was expecting it to be. So it became much longer than I thought it was going to be. So if you want to read it along with the script, you can, but I do talk fast in this to make sure that, I can get it all in without it being 40 minutes long. So that's why that's a very long video. And that's all. Thank you. Hello, if you're watching this video, you're most likely confused on where Maribat universe started from, how it got into the top 10 most popular miraculous ladybug ships according to Archive of Our Own, or why it's so popular. I wanted to try to make this video as informative as possible. Maribat is a mashup of the DC franchise, Batman and Miraculous Ladybug. Maribat originated from a Tumblr and Archive of Our Own user called Ozmav, specifically on Tumblr. Ozmav first created the idea when they were discussing the idea with another blog with the intent of shipping Marinette with one of the Robins. By this point, Spideynet was already created, a ship with Marinette, Dupain Chang, and Peter Parker. There's been fics with all 3 universes crossed over, so if you're a fan of all 3, you've hit the jackpot. Ozmav already shipped Dick with Corey, Jason normally with Roy, Tim was too similar to her, and that's how Damien became the chosen one. They wrote for Daminette, hit post, and then went to bed. Before the first fic, Ozmav was already adding Daminette to some of the large DC posts beforehand, such as chains from Len-Oreo-of-the-Rave. The first person who asked Ozmav to write for Maribat was Slytherin Shiashire. Originally, the Maribat community was small, so everyone quite literally knew everyone. It was only after someone requested Ozmav get an Archive of Our Own account that they did. Ozmav created the first original Maribat server until they later disbanded for reasons I will discuss in a little bit. The Maribat community started around the summer of 2019, and as more people began to write for Maribat, it created a spiral trope which is still used in many fan works today. I will be discussing some of the famous writers in the community, what the ship is, how it's popular tropes, or why you might like the ship and what each of the Maribat ships are. Right before we start, I want to thank Noradots for being an incredible friend to me. It was when she gave me the idea of drawing Damien and Marinette as an angel and demon that I came up with the idea to create this video. All the usernames in this video will be Tumblr usernames unless explicitly stated otherwise. Apologies for any mispronunciations. Let's begin. I just want to give up a heads up before I start that I will be discussing these things very fast or in a very fast-paced manner because I don't want this video to get too long. Now, if we were to compare Maribat to a country, for this example, we'll say the US, Ozmav would be like the first president with several founding fathers. Many of these founding fathers have since moved on from the community, but their impact has completely shaped the community. Some of these founding fathers would be 2 Sunchild 2, Mindful Magics, Slytherin Shiashire, Chloe-Bourgeois-Is-Big-Gay, with dashes, Max Dark 158, Clementia, and Real Random Posts. They were the first group of Maribat content creators, and each of them kept pushing through all the hate and antis forming the community today. I am forever grateful toward them and the courage they found to keep creating content. I highly recommend checking out their content and their blogs. They are absolutely amazing and absolutely wonderful people for allowing me to include them in this video and for helping me find all the founders. Seriously, they are amazing people. Literally check them all out. They are so kind and sweet, amazing, and just, wow. They are just amazing. Go check them out. Now, Maribat and Daminette are 2 different topics. Daminette specifically focuses on Damien and Marinette, while Maribat focuses on all the Maribat ships as a whole. I'll only be discussing the ships that have been given specific channels on the official Discord ship section. Each pair includes Marinette. Dickinette is Dick Grayson and Marinette. Tamari is Timothy Drake and Marinette. Brucenette is Bruce Wayne and Marinette. Jasonette is Jason Todd and Marinette. And Garmary is Garfield and Marinette. There's also some less polyamorous ships, like Mary Dadrian, Marinette, Adrian, and Damien, Fee Daminette, Felix, Damien, and Marinette, and a few other ships out there that are OCs made by some of the community, most of which will include Marinette as well. Now, another ship I'll add in just because I've seen a few discussions about was Terry McGinnis being shipped with Marinette as well. But as of the time of uploading this video, there has been enough support for this idea for the moderator team in the Discord to consider adding it as a pairing in the channels for Discord. Another being Bart and Adrian, but also not given as channel section in the Discord. Same goes for Alian, Damien, and Alia. Now, I can't find every person that started each ship, so I'll tell you the ones I do know. Daminette was obviously founded by Ozmav. Garmary was started by Theater and Comic Freak. Terry and Marinette does not have an official ship name that I know of, but I do know that it was created by A-Marlene-S, and Bart Adrian was created by Ethel Phantom. The first Jasonette fic on Archive of Our Own was published by 80 Crow, and the first Dickinette post on Archive of Our Own was by Ethel Phantom. Particularly geeky was the first archive of our own poster for Tamari. The PST was the first archive of our own poster for Bruce and Nett. I believe Casatopia was the founder of Alia and Damien. Alian, I think that's what it's called. These are the only ships that I have confirmed. I've tried contacting some of the members of the Discord and reaching out via Tumblr, but these were the only ones that I could get confirmed. For Dick, Jason, and Bruce, writers normally use younger versions of these characters since the universe is a crossover universe and there's been so many different reboots of the Bat family with different ages, etc., that many people feel comfortable aging up, down Dick, Jason, and Bruce. Most fics ever have all the Marinette and the Wayne in question at the same age in their adult years with the exception of Damien and sometimes Tim. For Damien and Tim, most times they're just teenagers. Oftentimes, authors don't adjust the ages, but rather which universe reboot of the series they choose. Just like how most people popularize child Damien, the writers will also use oftentimes younger timelines for the ships like Jasonette, Dickinette, and Brucenette. The general trope in most of the fics, especially Daminette, is where Marinette gets her class a field trip to Gotham, normally by organizing a class field trip by herself as student president or winning it from a contest. Lila Rosie is shown to be the main antagonist alongside Adrian in most fics. You would think it would be Joker or maybe Hawkmoth, but nope. Joker tends to be demoted to a minor threat and Hawkmoth takes a vacation. Everyone's like, yeah, Joker, pat, you're all important, but have you heard of teenage girls? They're the meanest. Now, when the class arrives in Gotham, they are normally given a hotel to stay at, and the next day they are given a tour scheduled at Wayne Enterprises. However, Marinette gets left behind, normally due to Lila interfering, and she's not on the bus in time for the tour. She tries to get to the tour by walking and eventually runs into a Wayne, normally Damien, but sometimes one of his brothers. From there, the Wayne in question normally takes her to the tour himself, and the class misbehaves in the tour. Bustier is normally portrayed in a poor light in these fics as an irresponsible teacher who left behind a student and will not stop the bullying towards Marinette. Lila is shown to be lying, sometimes about knowing the Waynes, sometimes about dating Damien. This normally ends with Bruce Wayne filing a lawsuit. Another popular trope is Damien immediately finding an interest in Marinette. Damien is normally nicknamed the Demon Spawn by his brothers, therefore landing Marinette the title of Angel nickname. Sometimes the fan base will give Marinette the nickname Habibti or Malak. They mean my love or angel, both of which are Arabic, which, if you do not know, Damien is a mix of Chinese, Arabic from Talia's side, most likely European from Bruce's side of the family as well. Most people include some Arabic culture into Damien, but I haven't seen many Chinese culture references to Damien in most Maribat fics. There's also a popular trope of Alfred, the butler, and a very special member of the Bat family is the former Peacock Miraculous holder, and all the Bat boys, specifically Tim, being a huge fan of Jack Stone, the rock star from Miraculous Ladybug, and specifically Marinette's work for him as well as a designer. Marinette often goes by the alias MDC for her fashion designs in these fics. The overall fanbase adores the emo boy, goes soft for soft girl, so if your heart melts for that, you're good to go. Now, another popular trope is Marinette escaping Gotham using the Horse Miraculous to teleport there to get help in the fight against Hawkmoth. As I said before, I will now be discussing the Maribat Discord that I mentioned earlier. Now, some of the founders worked together to create 2 different Maribat Discord servers, but as of right now, there are a few more Discords, such as the Twitter AU Discord, and the first Maribat Discord server was disbanded because the link used to be public. Many antis went on the Discord and would harass members of the Discord until it was forced to become disbanded. The link used to be public, but now it's not. You can still join the Maribat Discord, but whoever invites you is obligated to do a quick post-history check to make sure you're not a troll, so that no members are harassed and that the link is not abused. There's also a channel dedicated to the Twitter AU, which relates to the Maribat Twitter AU Discord. It used to be mainly on Twitter itself, but then it moved. From what I know, the roleplay has not messaged on Twitter in a few months, but has spoken on the Discord chats. The amount of salts in the community may be overwhelming, but the community itself has been very positive. Most of the community has heard of each other at least once or twice since it's such a small, close-knit community. Here's some signs you might like the ship. If you like the DC franchise, specifically Batman, you might love this ship. I know Marvel is very popular right now, but in my opinion, the Bat universe is fantastic, very broad, and just overall incredible. Most people outside of the fandom only know Bruce Wayne as Batman and Dick Grayson as Robin, and many don't know past that, but you'll find it interesting to know that there's been multiple Robins and members of the family throughout the years, forming what is called the Bat Fam. If you're already familiar with this and know that information, congrats, you're ahead of the game. Even if you don't know the franchise, many people come to Maribat and learned more about it because of the ship. No one has any shame or judgment if you might get a character off or rewrite the character. It's fanworks and it's okay to have fun. If you want to make a name for yourself with your writing or any other content, Maribat is a small community. Chances are it'll be seen by a portion of the community should you choose to make content for it. So if not having your work seen is a fear of yours, this fandom is a very nice place to start. And if you're concerned that the community is so small, no one will read it, you'll be surprised to find that the small community is very active, so chances are it'll definitely be seen. If you do like Salt and the Miraculous Ladybug fanbase, buckle in for a boatload of content for that. If you do, however, like Adrian, Alia, Bustier, and others, more people have dived out of that trope. It's of course still apparent, but not so much as before. If you like Adrian or Alia, it's okay, there's still fanworks that portray them in a good light. A good author to go for that is Ethel Phantom. They really do like Adrian as a character as well. If you do enjoy those characters, or don't really like Salt as much, you can still go for authors like them, like Ethel Phantom, to find some good content to read. Now, if you like the bad boy, soft cinnamon trope, buckle in for this ride of your life. 90% of the Maribat community adores this trope too, so if you do too, welcome to the family. If you like some quality Chloe, Kagami, Felix, and Luca content and feel like they're underrated, the Maribat community provides for that as well. Oftentimes, besides Marinette, they're portrayed as loyal, kind, and selfless people, especially Kagami and Luca. So if you want to see more content with them as heroes, you're in luck. I know I said this before, but the community has been very kind to me and many others in the community that have seen. It's incredible how much the community has grown in size and how the events are organized, etc. Either way, the community, despite the salt, is generally very kind and supportive to each other, and that's fantastic for a community. Tumblr user Alex Anonymous argues a great argument on why Maribat is still an enjoyable ship. There are some quotes from there that really stood out to me. Some quotes from their argument is that, as someone who deals with anxiety, I find myself using Salt as an outlet sometimes. I see Salt as kind of like an exaggerated portrayal of things that people like me find to be frustrating. They later go on to say, do we actually think her classmates are as bad as some of their stories portray them? No. However, the differences are so apparent that I have no trouble setting apart canon behavior and how the author writes the character. Fanfiction is fanfiction. They then go on to say how fanfiction can change the portrayal of any character, but that it's ultimately fanfiction. This is a huge thing to remember when reading Maribat fanfictions. The fanfiction will always be fanfiction, and that different people are allowed to have different portrayals of the characters. The overall line is that canon and fanfiction are very different, and that there is a line. It's also important to note that people are allowed to like or dislike a ship in any way, shape, or form. Even as Alex later says, it's okay to ship Adrianette and Maribat at the same time. You can ship whatever you want and still be a true fan. So if you like or dislike Maribat, that's fine, as long as you respect other people and their wishes on who they like or dislike as characters as well. Now, some of the currently popular writers would be Eat Zero Crow, Warhub4RB, Ethel Phantom, Casatopia, Miraculous 786, Miseness, Hey It's Baguette, Calliopeia, The-Navis Star-Carol, Black-Streak, G-Aria, Nora-Dots, Zebra Baker, A Masked Again, The Bookworm Fairy, Starry-Eyed Moonchild, Hikate-Hollow, and many more. Luzetta23 is well known for her Maribat master list, Ethel Phantom for just being Ethel Phantom and having an amazing writing style, and Casatopia for the same reason. Now, popular artists right now in the community would be Casey Draws, Violet Fowler, Casatopia, and My Vivid Dreams, all of which are available on Tumblr. My Vivid Dreams also has an Instagram account called The3Eggs_, and Casey Draws is the same name on Instagram. Ethel Phantom is also becoming well known for their artwork as well, which can be found on Tumblr and Instagram. On Tumblr they go by Ethel Phantom, on Instagram they go by Dicrimeth. I can't exactly trace back the first ever Maribat fan artist, but after speaking to some of the founders, I was led to two different people. One possible original Maribat fan artist was Caitlin Marley, and the other possible original Maribat artist was Two Sunchild 2. The piece that Caitlin Marley created was a fan art of the fiction Keeping You Warm, which became very popular among the Daminette community, and overall the entire Maribat community. My friend Nora-Dots is a huge fan of the fanfic, and the author of Keeping You Warm is Mindful Magics. One of the first ever Maribat comic artists was The Graysman. They're all amazing artists, and I highly recommend checking them out and supporting them. Their artwork is in this video because they are amazing. I drool over their artwork all the time, like how are they even real people? Now, from what I know, the first ever AMV, or animatic, was by Noir-Dots and I for the April Angst event, which was a universe based on the Hunger Games series. It's on my channel, and the artwork done by myself, and amazing, fantastic, splendid editing done by Noir-Dots. She's amazing, and I love her to death. Seriously, check her out. Her Instagram for editing is NoirDTS, so if you want to check out her amazing Miraculous Ladybug fan edits, you can find them there. Her multi-fandom account is Jump Songs on Instagram. Now, Sorry for that promo right there. Moving on. There's been many events in the Maribat community. Some of these events include the Daminette December event, where all the people who took part in the event had followed the prompt list to draw or write content for Daminette December. Many of the events were actually founded due to the antis. I'll be getting into that for a moment, but there was some issues of antis attacking the community, which led to many events being created as a way to say, hey antis, Maribat lives! Now, the Daminette December Tumblr account is called Daminette-December 2019. I can't find a post that says who started it, but it was one of the biggest events so far in the Maribat community, and I believe it was the first event as well, but feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. Another popular trope was the April Angst event, in which competitors would create fandom works and people would vote for their favorite April Angst creations. The account that ran the event is still up, called April-Angst-Apocalypse, or Maribat April Angst Apocalypse. It was run by Ethel Phantom, 80 Crow, and Wayward Princess, with the I in Princess being spelled with a 1. One of the notable moderators of the event was the Fair Maiden of Fandom as well. Now, the winners were Ethel Phantom in first place, getting the name Pale Rider. The second one was Friday Firefly, who got named Red Horse. The third place getting Black Horse, earned by Theater and Comic Freak, and the fourth place being named Famine, the title being claimed by Queen MJ10. Seriously, check out all their works. Their works that they entered for the Maribat Community Contest was absolutely amazing. Okay, they're just amazing. Go check out their blogs and go check them out really, seriously right now, go check them out. They are so amazing and so talented at writing. Oh my gosh, I remember reading so many of them and they were just so fantastic. Okay. Another popular event, I believe, run by the same people who created the April Angst month, is the June of Flowering Fluff event, which, as of the time recording this video, has already started. Now, it also has its own account called June-of-Flower-Fluff. Just like the name, it's a fluff event where the whole thing is not done by popular vote, but rather by this time, it's done by raffle, and the more entries you have means that your name goes into the raffle more times. Now, on to the antis. I'm going to be specifically discussing 2 of the mistagging events on Archive of Our Own and Tumblr where mistagged hate ended up in the Maribat tags. This has happened many times before, but these 2 are some of the biggest moments it has happened in the fandom. If you wish to skip this, I will be putting a timestamp in the pinned comment if you would like to skip it. I can't speak for a lot of them anti-mistagged hate from the past Maribat Discord because I was not there for it and I was brief on it. This section will be more in depth. There's been many occurrences of the antis swarming the tags of the Maribat universe. Many of these have been resolved though. Occasionally there will be someone who wants to tick off the shippers on purpose. That being said, most conflicts have since been resolved. The easiest way antis and pro-Maribats can compromise is sticking to their own tags, such as not making a post saying Daminette shippers are stupid and tagging it as Maribat or Daminette. Vice versa, the Maribat shippers try to only tag their ships and don't put many content tags for other tags such as Maribat tags. Another way people have prevented issues is by filtering out their own content. Many of the antis are annoyed at having to filter out Maribat every time they try to find fandom content, and have complained about it, but some of the bigger antis that are well known have even sided with the Maribat community in the sense that you are responsible for tagging and filtering out your own content that you dislike. If you do not wish to see Maribat post, exclude the tag and block it, etc. Everyone is responsible for excluding the content they don't want to see, and can't force everyone to like the same content. I will be discussing some of the past controversies in the fandom, with the names excluded, blurred, etc. I am not trying to send a witch hunt to these antis. The only names I have mentioned in this video so far have been the names that have been given to me by the Maribat community with their consent in being mentioned in the video, and since I haven't spoken with either of the mistagged anti-posters, I will not include their names here. There have been some issues in the past, especially with a well-known Tumblr. In this case, I will call them, Jared. I don't want to give out or call out specific certain people, so I will be using Jared as a fake name. To put it simply, Jared put hate in the ship tags, which brought upon him many new antis to the scene. This is because Jared has a fairly popular Tumblr account for the DC Phantom. However, Jared later apologized for putting hate in the ship tags and asked for the antis not to do the same. This generally resolved the conflict, but since Jared's Tumblr is so popular, it drew attention to the Maribat shippers, specifically Daminette, which has caused a spiral of hate, which normally stayed in the correct anti-tags, but there's been times which the ship hate has been posted in the ship's tags. Please keep in mind, I do not blame Jared at all for what happened. Jared has since apologized for the ship hate and is not responsible for the actions of other anti-Maribats who harass the Maribat community. Jared himself has even spoken out against the Maribat hate in the Maribat tags before. Jared is not responsible for the mistagged hate towards Maribat. They apologized for what they did for the mistagging. However, there's been another big issue with the same mistagging issue happening on Archive of Our Own. There was an issue where one user was continuously tagging fics that bashed the Maribat content creators of the Maribat fanbase, insulted them, put violent images on the fic, made fun of the writers, tried to force Maribat writers to write Lila Redemption fanfictions. They wouldn't stop for a few days until the Archive of Our Own team, from what I know and what I understand, shut down the 3 to 4 accounts they would post these fics on and gave them suspensions or bans. I don't know which. Either way, all I know is that the Archive of Our Own moderation team took action quickly. If I can put screenshots, I would be putting them on the screen right now. The ordeal itself happened on November 2019, the 27th, on a Wednesday, I believe. Now, I'll be reading the entire fic right now, and I am serious when I say that everything I'm about to read is 100% word for word, not exaggerated, word for word what they chose to say. I chose this specific example to analyze because it's one of the best examples that I can find of Maribat hate not being expressed appropriately and crossing a line. No names will be shown. The fic itself said, reasons I did this. Number 1, don't at me, Justin Bieber did it first. I only followed the trolling. They posted a link to the photo on Justin Bieber's Instagram where the image came from. If y'all are allowed to tag Lila Rosie's character and have one of the tags be Lila Rosie bashing, then I can do whatever I want as well. There's some people that like her character and want a Lila redemption, but all they see is hate in her tags. So don't pull that stop being salty and putting hate in her tags bullshit because you guys do the same thing to mine. Marinette is a Mary Sue. She's just another self-insert for y'all to obsess over and ignore her creepy behavior. She can pretty much get away with anything because she's the main character. The tag Marinette Japan Chang / Damian Wayne crossover has been so fucking annoying, popping up in every one of my tags, so I decided I will make a fic like this every time there's a new fic, or if a fic updates to see how y'all like it. Now, I'm going to be discussing these points right now, and I will be discussing what the image was, not in detail, but what it generally was. So here's your heads up. I will absolutely will be defending the Maribat community in this circumstance. So if you're not interested in hearing my explanation on why this fanfiction bait was so incredibly horrible from my perspective, I'll be putting a timestamp in the description or a pinned comment for you to skip if you would like. Here's my defense. For the first reason, the reason of, don't at me, I'm just following in the steps of Justin Bieber. I feel like this is a pretty self-explanatory example of immaturity in this person. Putting aside whether or not you like Maribat or not, there's no denying that it's frankly a weak excuse and defense for putting the image attached to the fanfiction. The fanfic itself has an image of a lion killing another animal. For many, it was a graphic image, and as I'm sure many people know, some people have a more difficult time looking at graphic images of death and dead bodies. So to have the fic untagged in such a way was a very wrong move, using the justification of Justin Bieber did it, so I can too. There is no justification for that. The context of why Justin Bieber posted the photo does not equivalent to shoving it down the throats of a very small community to harass them with that photo. Do not use Justin Bieber did it, so I can do it too, as an excuse to justify posting that in a fan fiction to insult a community. Justin Bieber did not post that image to harass a fandom community, so even the logic itself cannot be applied here because the context of the image being used is not the same. If you want to see the image, it's still on his Instagram posted on November 22nd, 2019. I will not show the image in this video because I don't want to shove dead animal corpses or bodies in anyone's faces. Now, for the second reason, they said they are upset at people tagging Lila Rosie bashing fics with the same tag as character tag Lila Rosie, but they even admit that in the same sentence that those fics with Lila bashing are properly tagged with Lila bashing. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with Archive of Our Own, there are different types of tags. The ship tags, the fandom tags, and the character tags, and the additional tags. The character tags are specifically for whatever characters that are mentioned in that fanfiction. That can mean that a character was portrayed as a protagonist or an antagonist in that fanfiction, meaning that, for example, if I were to use the Joker as an example, if I wanted to write a fanfiction about the Joker, I would still use the Joker as a character tag to say that he is an antagonist. A character tag can be a villain or a protagonist. Now, character tags are used specifically for whatever characters are in that fic, whether they be antagonists or protagonists, meaning the Maribat community is correct in tagging a fic with Lila as a character because she is included as an antagonist in most of these. I myself don't dislike Lila as a character, same as this anti. I actually think a Lila redemption could be interesting. However, even I and even the Lila lovers know that just because Lila is tagged as a character does not mean that she's going to be portrayed as a protagonist. If she is tagged as a character, that means she could either be briefly mentioned, she could be an antagonist or a protagonist in that fanfiction. If she's labeled as a character tag, it's only a character tag is only that a character gets briefly mentioned or mentioned at all or plays a role in that fanfiction, whether that is a good role or a bad role. These same fics that have Lila tagged use her as an antagonist have this another tag called the Lila Rosie bashing tag, which Lila is clearly tagged as the antagonist character, which will let anyone who wants to read it know that Lila will be portrayed in a poor light in that fic. So readers know beforehand that she will be seen and written as an antagonist character. On Archive of Her Own, there is specifically an excluding tag filter system, which you can remove any Lila Rosie bashing tagged fics from your search results so that they do not clutter your search results in finding Lila Rosie bashing fics. It is incredibly simple. It does not take more than 10 seconds, not even 5 if you're a super fast typer, and bam, they are properly tagged fics that will remove all of your search results, and it gets even better. There's also a specific Lila Rosie redemption tag where you can specifically isolate any fic that you want that Lila is the protagonist, meaning that she is written as the good guy in this fic. These are called the additional tags. The Lila Rosie redemption and Lila Rosie bashing tags are two separate tags that differentiate protagonist and antagonist. You can isolate whichever one you want. Either way, Lila Rosie as the protagonist in the Lila Rosie redemption tag means that she's going to be written as a good guy in these fics. That takes the same amount of time to exclude that tag as well. Not to mention, it gets even easier to find the search results you want because you can also exclude the Maribat tag and the Daminette tag, meaning you now have 3 whole options to narrow down the fic you want, excluding the Lila Rosie tag, excluding the Maribat tags such as Daminette or Maribat. You can specifically search the Lila Rosie redemption tag. Oh wait, it gets even better, boys. If you don't want to type in Maribat tag to exclude it every time because it takes too much space, bam, the DC crossover is the biggest miraculous Ladybug crossover ship on Archive of Her Own. So meaning if you just exclude the fandom, it is the second option that pops up. You don't even have to include typing it out. It takes a total of 5 clicks. No typing. No to just exclude all of the Maribat fics, meaning no, Maribat isn't tagging fics incorrectly by tagging Lila Rosie as a character. You are being selfish and expecting everyone to bend over backwards so you can save yourself 5 seconds of work. The character, as I said before, Joker would be an example of a character tag. Just because Joker is tagged as a character tag in a fanfiction does not mean he will be shown as a good guy in the fanfiction, and it gets even better. If this person is looking through the Lila Rosie tag, that means they either searched up Lila Rosie, the character, each time, meaning they know how to filter tags to include specific tags into a ship that have the Lila Rosie as a character, meaning they know how to filter the system or have it bookmarked or favorited the tag. You know what else they can favorite or bookmark? The Lila Redemption tag, meaning they can go straight away to any Lila Rosie redemption fanfictions that they want. So they have the option to filter out the DC fandom crossover ships, the option to filter out Lila Rosie bashing, the option to filter out Damien and Maribat as a relationship, the option to filter specifically Lila Rosie redemption tags, and none of the options take more than it would to browse the Lila Rosie tag, which they clearly are already doing. Which just begs the question, why does everyone need to bend over backwards just for you? Now, the third reason of Maribat being a Mary Sue. It always boggles my mind how someone can accuse a character of being a Mary Sue while also pointing out their flaws in the same exact breath. Now, this is a more subjective opinion, so nothing is concrete on this part, it's just my opinion. A Mary Sue has the universe bend over backwards and hands everything to them. Maribat is shown to be hardworking and earns what she gets. When she has done something creepy, or has been rude, she has paid the price for it. The miraculous Ladybug universe does not let her get away with acting immature. It's more like the fandom sometimes excuses it, in which the anti does have a point here. However, it is never an excuse to put hate in a tag and insult these writers as well. You can never demand someone bends over backwards, dislike the same characters you dislike, like the same characters you like, etc. You can never force your personal preferences onto others. It's fine if you dislike or even hate Maribat, but it's not okay when you mistag hate. Insult the writers along with it. Let people enjoy the things they like, and you will deserve and receive the same courtesy. If you disrespect those who like different things, you are not deserving of any kind of respect. Do not expect others to suddenly change their opinions if you harass them enough. With the fourth reason being that the Daminette tag has been annoying. Again, it takes a total of 5 clicks. It is not difficult. In the words of Jared himself, you are responsible for your own fandom experience and no one else. You need to take charge of your own filter. And the threat, I will make a fic like this for every time there's a new fic, or if a fic updates to see how y'all like it. What is the goal here? Piss off more and more people until they succumb to enough harassment, till they feel or like the same things as you? Harass them enough until they comply? Yeah, they're insults and rude comments that will definitely 100% make them want to love Lila now. 12 out of 10, great marketing strategy. But seriously, that's how you want others to treat you, right? If the Maribat community suddenly started tagging Lila Rosie bashing stories with Lila Rosie redemption fics, you would not like it. If you want your interests and favorite fandom characters respected, respect others in the miraculous Ladybug fandom as well. That's not all. The writer has made more of these fics as promised, each of them including these images. Some of the Simpsons, I think, having sexual intercourse, I believe, was also an image attached to one of the fanfictions. I can't pull up the screenshot to find the image they used, since it was removed by the Archiver-owned moderation team. There's also another fanfiction with a repeat of the same Justin Bieber fic, and here's some comments they said. In a response to an anonymous user telling them that even if they dislike Maribat, they can't force others to like Lila Rosie by tagging their anti-rants into the fanfiction tags, they said, "Think you misunderstood me. I never said there weren't, I believe is what they meant. Supposed to be any Daminette tags with the Lila redemption tag, just said that I wanted more redemption fics about her. Originally, I was going to take my anger out on the Adrianette fans, but they wouldn't have cared. Since they have over 10,000 fics, they would have easily ignored my fic." It's here that the anti admitted very clearly and plainly that they did not care specifically about the Maribat community, that they just targeted the Maribat community because it's smaller, and they wanted to force others to listen to them by threatening to blow up their tags with ship hate. The same person also justified themselves with, "Yes, I can filter out some things, that is, if you tag your fucking shit properly." Now, I don't have screenshots for one of their later responses, but when questioned specifically about which tags were mistagging Lila Redemption fics, they said something along the lines of, "They aren't mistagging Lila Hate with Lila Redemption, I just don't want them to use Lila Rosie as a character tag." Again, as I stated before, the Lila Rosie character tag is open for antagonist and protagonist character portrayals, meaning if it's being used correctly, even when Lila Rosie is portrayed in a poor light, especially when almost every Maribat fanfiction is tagged with the Lila Redemption bashing tag on Archive of Our Own. They also justified the quote with the dead animals again with, quote, "I repeat, this photo is," and caption was taken from Justin Bieber's Instagram, in which he posted to his young fan base, and he didn't even give a warning, so I did nothing wrong, just follow the trolling. Again, I debunked this earlier. Even then, not everyone is a fan of Justin Bieber or agreed it was even right for him to post that photo on his Instagram with no warning. Therefore, the excuse of Justin Bieber did it, so I can too because it was fine when he did it doesn't work, because plenty of people disagree whether it was okay for him to even post the photo in the original place with no warning. So it's definitely not okay to fool people into clicking on the fanfiction with a fake bio and mistagged ship just to bait people into clicking on it. Now, I've gotten pretty defensive in the last few minutes, but I can never stand it when others try to force their opinions onto others. It's never okay to just ignore the filters and then complain that not everyone likes the same content you do. It's never okay to do that, and you can never harass people into liking the same content you do. Now, people tend to dislike Adrian because in the show, he's constantly shown as the golden child who won't handle redemption well when Ladybug doesn't return his feelings. He has thrown temper tantrums over before and has left people to drown, not figuratively speaking, I mean literally, I'm being dead serious. People were actually drowning and he did not want to help them because he was upset that Ladybug didn't return his feelings. Now, others argue that Adrian has grown from this behavior and knows when it's called quits, but it's still a heavy debate in the fandom. Maribat is disliked because she has a massive crush on Adrian. But she also has photos of him all over her room, knows his schedules, follows him around, has taken his phone, etc. She's a huge fan of his modeling, but has made it apparent that her key factor to liking him was his personality. Overall, many antis believe she is a stalker of sorts or a Mary Sue. Thus, there's been a lot of salt fics in which both have been portrayed in a poor light, mainly Adrian. There's a lot of salt towards Aya for siding with a liar than her best friend. A majority of the salt in the Maribat community is targeted towards Adrian and Lila. Now, if you've gotten this far and haven't found appeal with a ship, that's totally fine. Everyone's allowed to like or dislike a ship for their own reasons. As long as you remember to let Maribat shippers ship what they want, the Maribat community tends to just stick to themselves as well. It prevents internet wars, and it generally keeps the peace. So don't feel bad or guilty for liking or disliking a ship. Now that we've gotten this far, I wanted to try to end this on a positive note by discussing some of the smaller triumphs of the Maribat community. You can find Maribat on many different platforms, such as Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Wattpad, Pinterest, Tumblr, Archive of Our Own, DeviantArt, TikTok, and many more. There's also been a few different Maribat cosplays as well, a notable one being from Wayward_Princess_ on TikTok, or Wayward Princess with a 1 instead of an I on Tumblr, where she dressed up as Marinette and acted out popular Maribat tropes. I recently started a Reddit community called Maribat. I will be linking down below as well. Now, it has some of the basic rules of please don't harass anyone, no discrimination, and to use proper flares. More information can be found on the Reddit itself. I just founded it, so feel free to hop into the Reddit and say hello. Now, the video is coming to an end. I'll get over some small fun facts about the ship. If you want to look up Maribat on Google, you won't just find the ship, you'll also find a company that uses Maribat as their name. Maribat is also a batteries company, Morocco's largest manufacturer, distributor, and recycler of lead-acid batteries. However, since Maribat the crossover became so popular, you will mainly find the ship instead of the company. Now, you can still find the company and their LinkedIn page, which will be linked to down below. I wanted to dedicate a special shout out to Northern Blue Tongue on Tumblr for being an incredibly supportive reader. Now, they would normally take their time out of their day to write incredibly sweet comments about their posts on Maribat, and I've had the comments on my works plenty of times. They're really an incredible, kind, and they're just amazing, and they leave amazing feedback. I just wanted to put this here because I wanted to say thank you to them, because their comments and motivation mean the world to me and many other users. Now, that's all for today's video. If you have anything else that you think should have gotten into this video, absolutely let me know. I would love to know more about the Maribat history, and if you have any other comments or anything to add in, I would love to hear it, and I would love to check it out or any of the sources that you have. So feel free to pop in, say hello, and just thank you all for watching. So I really do apologize if you couldn't get a heavy mention. The Fairy Maiden of Fandom is one of the examples of the people that I did want to go on about because, oh my god, the writing is so amazing, or Casatopia, whose artwork is just to die for. But the thing is, I really did not want this video to get over 40 minutes because, as you can tell, it was starting to get up over to 40 minutes, and that was a lot of hours to edit, honestly. So I apologize if you could not get a heavy mention as a writer, since there are so many writers in the Maribat community, and I couldn't go over each one individually. Let me know if you would be interested, though, in me listing some of my favorite writers, or favorite authors, or artists in the community. I would love to make that kind of a video. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Have a nice day. Bye. I'm so sorry to put this at the end of the video. When I was finishing up this video, I realized that I skipped a few people that I really wanted to mention, and I was so stupid, and I'm so sorry for having to put this at the end of the video. I can't put it back into the middle of the video where the other mentions are, but I am putting it at the end of the video. I'm so incredibly sorry for this. I am so stupid, okay? BB-Babu Basbusa, Isabella Penguin, and also Bad Wolf 10 were also people that I accidentally skipped in this video. I am so sorry. They are incredible writers, and I'm so stupid. I am so sorry. Their writing is so amazing, and I should have put them into the beginning of the video. I forgot to add them into the script once I asked for their permission. And just gosh, I'm so sorry. Their writing is so amazing. Seriously, check them out. They are, oh my god, their writing is so amazing. I literally want to die. I have notifications on for all three of them. So seriously, like, okay, just their rating is just amazing. Like, honestly, I can't even, like, I don't know how I can really, like, go into detail about that because it's just generally amazing. So seriously, check out their writing. They're just amazing people. And I'm so sorry for putting them at the end of the video. I'm so stupid. I'm just so sorry. I hope that you enjoyed the video, though. So goodbye.